My name is Faith Rattei, and I am a Director of Christian Outreach. I've been a Director of Christian Outreach in the Minnesota South District for about 16 years, and a DCO for almost 18, and just happy to share the things I've learned and looking to help congregations and individuals share their faith more effectively, both corporately and individually. And today I'd like to talk about financial peace and how that also helps us share our faith more effectively. Well, our financial peace story, in a nutshell, is that we did everything that normal Americans do in the last, I'll say, 20 years, and what, frankly, normal Christians do too. That basically leads us to the majority of us, about 75% of us, not being able to cover a $400 emergency if we had one. And so we were in that boat, and we hit rock bottom in 2012. Lutheran Social Services suggested that we file for bankruptcy. So it was a pretty rough state to be in. But now in 2020, we are debt-free. We have a fully funded emergency fund, and we have our down payment for a home. And so we're moving along on our journey. There's a lot more I could say, but basically that 75% of Americans can't cover that $400 emergency. And those are your next door neighbors. Those are the people in your church. That might be you. And so I wanted you to know that I can relate to that, and most of America can too. And there's an answer and there's solutions, and they start with Scripture and what Jesus has to say about money, and also just your willingness to dig in and do the hard work. Financial Peace is basically just a program that helps teach people how to manage God's money, God's ways, for God's glory. And it, in essence, is a class that you'll take individually, usually at a church, often at a church. It can be other places as well. But it's all part of a Ramsey Plus membership package that includes a lot of other resources that it didn't include in the past. If you're familiar with Financial Peace University, that might sound familiar, but there's a lot more to it now, and you get a year-long membership for about $130. So it's a great resource, and it's just the way to get past that feeling of not having peace around your finances. It provides that resource for you. What's great about Financial Peace is it can really serve your congregation as well, not just individuals that are in need of getting peace around their finances. I have personally found it to be one of the most simple outreach opportunities I've ever engaged in the last 18 years. Because all you need to do is sign up as for your church for a class on their website, and they have someone that will contact you and work with you. And because of the well-known name of Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University, people are seeking you out and seeking out your class. I was able to connect with so many people that were new to our congregation, had no experience with our congregation, through meeting a felt need that they had, but also helping introduce them to a relationship with Jesus. Another thing that it provides for a congregation is common language around finances and stewardship, that sort of thing. Also, it supports you as a leader. Prayerfully, you would go through it as well, because it's hard to lead where we haven't been. And so even just being aware of what it is and what it's talking about, but it will make a big difference in your own life if you're not feeling peace around your finances. And in doing so, then you can introduce it to other people in your congregation, and it can really change the culture of your money mindset in your church around debt and savings and missions and how we generously give to others, that sort of thing. And so in doing that, you could do like a whole church-wide campaign, and really can make a difference, because not only are those people that can't cover a $400 emergency in our world, they're also our neighbors and in our congregations as well. And so it's those people that we can serve, and then they can serve others by sharing such a great program that can help move them past that to a place of peace. The other thing I would say too is that you maybe as a church leader, whether you're a pastor or a staff, anything like that, is not the one that has to do this. They make the packages really easy for any person to become a coordinator for the class. You don't even have to have been through financial peace before to coordinate the class. It's just so simple the way that they've set it up that anybody can do it, and so it doesn't necessarily need to be another item on your plate that you need to work with. You can just find someone who's passionate about those things, gifted in caring about people and coordinating classes, and you'll be ready to go. And so I just encourage you to go to their website and check that out. And they have a whole page for churches that can give you the resources that you need to kind of start with that. In terms of financial peace, I kind of liken the class to going to the doctor. It really is important, and I really do recommend it for everybody. Even if you feel like I'm really healthy, well, that's great. You might learn some new things by going to the class that you didn't know before. On the other hand, to actually implement those things, most people would seek out a health coach, where you're either working with a gym or specifically a coach from the gym, other different ways to increase accountability and encourage you in those day-to-day moments where you don't really feel like working out or you don't really feel like drinking the water and that sort of thing. And so the financial coach that's available through, Ramsey Plus is the program that's now available through that, is very similar to me as the health coach. So it's someone who's gonna check in with you, you're gonna have agreed upon kind of measurements and goals, and you're gonna be working towards those things to keep it going, because it is really hard on your own individually to implement all of the things that you've learned. The good news is with financial peace, it's step by step, so you want to focus on one thing at a time. But even doing that can be really a challenge if you don't necessarily feel like you have the support or the internal motivation to keep that going. And so I really do recommend people checking out the financial coach option through Ramsey Plus as well. Of course, we want to get people connected to those coaches, and you can find that on the daveramsey.com website as well. But I also would like to say that I am becoming a financial coach. And so I want to let you know that I'm already available to coach people through any financial challenges they've had, the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace Steps, really working on getting that debt paid off, savings, and putting ourselves in a place where we can give generously like God calls us to do. And so you can always contact me at coachfaithdco@gmail.com or at fullbodiedfaith.com. And I'd be happy to just have a discovery discussion with you, just a complimentary time just to talk about where you're at and where you'd like to go and how we can help you get there.